Welcome to OreoOlive.com. As you know, Oreo and olive don't mix, but the abstract thought of putting those two words together has enlightened me to create a channel to discuss various topics. On today's episode, people, we're going to talk about the power of networking, getting the job based on who you know. This conversation right here, people, is going to be a little bit of insight on securing those potential job opportunities. Now, while many of us may have multiple degrees, some of us no degrees at all, probably as low as a GED, all the way up to a PhD. What I do want to make sure that we understand is that this is basically to highlight of how important it is to network with people in today's market to not only stay competitive, but also to have an influence in the job market itself. Now, when you're looking at this, one of the first key points that I want to talk about is us having to understand the value of networking. Now, the value of networking is not in computer terms of networking like connecting computer switches and servers and things like that on the technical side, but more on the people side, meaning that you are using the words out of your mouth and you're using your presence, actual presence, physical presence in society in order to connect with people. Now, the concept of networking and its role in the job search process has many types of benefits. When you begin to network with people, what you begin to see is you have access to those opportunities that are oftentimes remain hidden, out of sight, out of mind, meaning that people will get jobs based on who they know, not because they've actually applied or may even be qualified for it. That oftentimes doesn't even matter, but it's who you have in your circle. Now, when you are looking at that and you having access to those hidden job opportunities, meaning job opportunities that are not posted, you also have to keep in mind that when you have insight about the company, you're learning more about the company too. You learn about the company's culture, whatever that may be, and the hiring needs that they may have by running into somebody who may work for that company could open up doors of opportunity for you. But one of the best ways that I have seen personally has been recommendations or referrals from people who are trusted and connected sources to the people who work internal of the organization. So if people can agree with you or you're pretty much a yes person, you're probably going to get those trusted connections there because people are going to feel more comfortable with you rather than someone who is probably resilient and not, necessarily in that regard. Now, once you get that value of networking, you're a talkative person and you're getting to know people, you're going to start building those relationships with people. And that is a powerful thing in networking itself because you're building a strong professional network. Now, this is not only just on LinkedIn, people, this is actually in person, going out to just different events that happen in society, meeting people. Now, when you are expanding your network, you're going to these events. Okay, you're joining professional organizations. If you're into technology, you may be joining AITP, Association of Information Technology Professionals. You may be joining a CompTIA association. If you are into construction, you may be joining some kind of builders association or something like that. When you're going to these events and these professional paying organizations, meaning you're paying a membership to go, you're getting access to people and utilizing those platforms in person to access them online so that you can start creating your network. Well, LinkedIn is good to have, but it's also good to be in person as well. Now, when you are beginning to interview with professionals in the desired field, you're reaching out to people who have a similar life. So they may be in the same building, but they may not be on the same floor. An example of that is you may not be an executive of a tech company, but you may be in the tech professional group where you're able to reach people who are in different sides of the industry. That is going to be very beneficial to you and help you out because that's going to help you seek out informational interviews into your desired field. From that, you'll be able to engage in social media communities that are related to that specific field. We are so we spend so much time engaging on social media for entertainment purposes and learning things that are non-constructive rather than using it to its advantage. While a lot of us use Facebook and Instagram, of course, for entertainment reasons to entertain the world, we are not using it in order to expand our networking aspect. Ask yourself, for the number of contacts that you have in your social media, how many of those people are you actively using for potential job opportunities in the future? I'm willing to guarantee that majority of us and majority of the population is definitely using that for entertainment purposes and not to engage in people who are in your industry. Once you get those relationships, just like taking care of a child, you have to nurture that. You have to leverage those connections. And so there are different strategies that you can use to do that in a professional manner. Okay? You're going to follow up with the people that you stepped up to make a connection with. You're going to definitely express your gratitude and concerns about how thankful that you are that you're in their circle and that you are, expressing your interest in learning more. Maybe as a mentor, mentee, whatever kind of relationship that may be. But you also have to stay connected on a regular and consistent basis. So whether you all attend an outing, a coffee outing, once a quarter, 4 times a year, or every month, once a month, whatever it may be, you're staying connected on a regular basis so that you can keep that communication and get used to the terminology, get used to updates, and you giving them assistance. They're offering you assistance in supporting your network as much as possible. That is the best thing that you can absolutely do. So when you have this, you begin to see those opportunities that come about, and they may ask you to collaborate on some kind of assignment or some kind of project with them, or be able to contribute to a project with or without pay. And those then become the authentic pieces of that interaction that you have. Now, as you're understanding the value of the networking and building that strong relationship and nurturing the relationship, you also have to then you begin to tap into job opportunities. And job opportunities is a way for you to figure out how you can leverage your network that you have to find potential job openings that may or may not, oftentimes they may not be posted. They may not be available to the general public, but because you have followed those other 3 pieces of information that I provided you, it's going to show them that you have expressed interest in your own personal career goals and aspirations and opportunities. When you're expressing that, you want to make sure to express interest in positions that are relevant to you. So you can start to request referrals and start getting recommendations from people who are now within your trusted contacts in your circle. These people are going to be able to talk to other people in the organization, and they may even help you seek out mentorship or some type of guidance, whether it's spoken or unspoken, in the professional industry. Now, you have to make sure that you are utilizing your network of potential job leads. You also have to look for upcoming opportunities as well. If you're sitting around waiting on someone to hand you something, it's not going to happen. You will not get your dream job. You will not get the job that you want if you do not actively seek to increase your networking. So when you look at the key points as we discussed in today's episode, you have to understand what the value of networking is. Once you understand that, you start to build a strong professional network. That means getting off your behind and getting out there talking to people. Start building relationships. Once you start getting out the door, you start nurturing those relationships. You start making the phone calls and inviting them out to different events. Or maybe, if, like I said, if it's something as simple as a coffee meeting or something, go to a local coffee restaurant, sit for 30, 45 minutes to an hour, and start nurturing those relationships and start offering your assistance. Then once you start doing that, you would then start tapping into the potential job opportunities because the person is going to feel more comfortable talking to you about what's open in that regard. So I encourage all of you to always invest in yourself. Always invest in yourself at all points of time. And I ask you to continue to nurture those professional relationships because I'm speaking from a place of I've been there, done that, and I understand some of you may be introverts, but you're going to have to come out of that shell in order to get to what you want. Don't wait for someone else to steer you into what your dreams should be. You need to take yourself, put yourself in the driver's seat, go ahead and start working on those professional relationships. Like, listen, subscribe, people. OrioOlive.com. Look forward to bringing more content to you soon.